Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's Down and Dirty is a little bit of a continuation of a little series we've done on loading trucks, specifically on-road trucks. And today in our video, we are talking about loading trucks in the blind. And we are not totally in the blind, but we're enough that I can explain some concepts and let you see them where you can actually see, because if you can imagine, if we were totally on the ground right now, you guys wouldn't be able to see anything from our GoPro vantage point looking out the front of the cab. But at the same time, we're even enough with the truck that we're not going to be able to necessarily see what's going on inside the truck, and that's really what I want to cover. How do we know what's going on inside of our truck? A couple key concepts. First of all is your truck loading routine. Stick to it. You know, we've talked about this in a previous video. Start at the front of the truck, work your way to the back with overlapping buckets. That way you know exactly where you are in the truck. So what we're gonna do, the only thing we're gonna focus on right now is just bombing the same spot in our truck, which is right there at the front. We're just gonna continue to hit that spot until we see the dirt stop falling out of our bucket. When the dirt starts to trickle out of our bucket, we know the only cause of the dirt trickling is because dirt is falling onto dirt already in the truck. It's not able to just free fall. And that's gonna tell us, that's gonna be our indicator of what our dirt level is up at the front of the truck. And I'll show you what I mean. So right now, when I dump this bucket, and you wanna get low enough that you can tell, when I dump this, see how everything free falls? Comes out real quick. Here in another couple buckets, you're gonna see that change because we're getting close to being full up there at the front. Now, this is the way I load trucks. You could be one of those guys that counts. I'm sorry, but that's way too much work for me to count the number of buckets. I would far rather just be an operator and use the machine and my knowledge to do the work for me. Don't create extra work for yourself. You got enough stuff to keep track of. Okay, so it's starting, I don't know if you caught that, it's starting to slow down as it comes out of the bucket, so we're getting close. Let's see what this one does. I'll dump it a little slower so we can see. So as I dump, see how the dirt's not trickling? Or I'm sorry, it's not just free falling, it's starting to hold up because it's meeting resistance. So we're getting close up there at the front of the truck. I bet this one's gonna do it. Yep, look at there. See how I have dirt sitting in my bucket, even though it should be free falling. We are full at the front of the truck at this point. Even though I can't see inside the truck, I know we're full. So we're gonna move over, and this is our new spot. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a tiny, tiny little dirt clump sticking up. They just rolled down. I can leave that as a visual indicator, or I can also know that the rib on the side of the truck directly below my tooth here, my left-hand tooth, is roughly where I need to be lined up for my next bucket. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my visual reference. We always talk about sight pictures and visual reference. I'm gonna reference that rib. That's where I need to be lined up for this next scoop. Right about there. And there we go. We're just gonna continue to follow, and the way we know we're chasing our dirt is because we're watching it trickle out of our bucket. If it free falls, so let's say we don't swing quite enough over, look at that, there's no resistance. It's because I wasn't far enough back. I should have dumped that one right about here. That's how you're gonna be able to tell where you're at in the truck without actually being able to see in the truck. And we're just gonna continue to track that all the way to the back. So right about there. And that one, the dirt free fell for the most part. It's because I wasn't totally overlapping, which is fine. I've been doing this long enough. I know where I'm at, and I know that that dirt's gonna build up there. But if you're a rookie operator, swing all the way back here. See, right there. There I'm on my pile, and I can feel it in my hydraulics too. You can also feel when you're starting to meet resistance in the truck because you're touching the existing dirt. Use that. We are operating in the blind here, so use whatever you can. So we'll go over here, I can feel my dirt, see it start to trickle, and just feed it in. And we're gonna continue to chase the pile inside the truck with our new dirt. And as a rookie, it's okay. If you totally lose your spot, There's a ladder on the side of that truck. Pop out, take a quick peek. You don't have to be ashamed about that. Everyone learns by doing this and screwing up. It's all part of it. Don't be afraid of that. You see the left side of my bucket, I'm still getting resistance. The right side though is free falling. That tells me I'm exactly where I need to be. I am dumping that pile, splitting it across what's already existing in the truck and the edge. Boom, just like that. We're just chasing it back. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about in this video when I say splitting my bucket across the pile in the truck, click up above and I will link to the first video in this series where we do this from on top of a pile so you can actually see what I'm talking about. I specifically recorded that one first so that you guys would have a good idea of what I'm referencing now that we're in the blind. And even though it looks like I know what I'm doing, or I should say it looks like I can see, I am totally in the blind. I cannot see that dirt inside the truck at all. In fact, you guys have a higher perspective than I do because of the way my GoPro is mounted in the cab here. So you guys have a better view of what's going on in that truck than I do. And yet, we are still loading this truck nice and even. And if you go a little too far back, what am I gonna do here? Well, that's easy. Spin to the side. And if you need to pull a little back with you, grab some, pull it back. That's okay. And you're gonna do that, especially as a rookie. You're gonna do that. That's fine. You've got the ability to move that dirt around. So I'm about full right there. Do you see how slow it came all the way across my bucket? It was coming out pretty slow. So we're gonna move back in our truck just a hair. So now we'll go back here. The other key to loading in the blind here is, and this just comes with time, is knowing when you're hitting the center of the truck. You've got to hit the center of the truck, because if we load this guy really heavy on one side, we talked about it in our first video, that can create a dangerous situation when he goes and dumps. So you do need to keep that load pretty centered in the truck. And again, as a rookie, you're going to load some a little heavy on one side. It's okay. Take a look, let the truck driver know. And now you can see we're starting to get full at the back. I can also hear that dirt rubbing up against the tailgate or falling on the tailgate. So I know I'm getting close to being loaded here. So look at there. That is a full load, and I cannot see inside that truck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do one quick flat smooth pass. This takes time and skill as a rookie. Boom, send him on his way. So that's all there is to it, guys. Don't let operating in the blind intimidate you. Take it slow. And I will say this is an aluminum box. You need to be gentle on aluminum boxes. And you need to be aware, don't use your teeth. But if you have your bucket in this orientation and you go down in that box, it is okay to very gently bump one side of the box, so that you know where the box is in relation to your bucket. Then lift up and then dump into it. Now that you've kind of got your orientation and you know where you're at inside that box. That's okay. Just make sure, as you can see, let me spin over here. You can see this trailer has got really, really thin top rails. So if I'm gonna do that bump experiment, I would actually drop my bucket down inside there and bump just very gently to the side where you're hitting the sides of the box as opposed to those really thin top rails, just so you don't damage the trailer. And again, I'm talking a little bump, little bump. You don't want to slam the box, obviously, and damage equipment. So that's all I got for today. I hope this has been helpful. We'll catch you guys on the next Down and Dirty.